Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of BZG's Talking Shit. I'm your host,
Henry.
So, you may notice something different. Barrett is not here for the first time ever. He is on a vacation in Cleveland at the moment. Cleveland, Ohio.
In Hawaii.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take ya. Instead, I am hosting this week's episode of BZG with one of the co-hosts, Ricky Baldazan. What's up?
What's up, mama?
And for the first time on BZG, my good friend Tony Vigna. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
How's it feel to be on the show for the first time?
It's strange.
Yeah. I feel strange too. I've never hosted this before without any guidance
Whatsoever.
So this is gonna be like just fuck for the entire time.
Pretty much, but as soon as you get into the conversation, it goes much easier.
It goes harder the more obvious you make it that we're going into a conversation any minute now.
So Ricky, what have you been up to?
So I've been working a lot. I just finished my very last festival. So I'm very happy that I don't need to work 38 hours in 2 days ever again.
That must be heaven.
Oh yeah, the moment I turned in those like heavy brick set $1,000 radios I was telling you about, the moment I turned it in, I was like almost started crying out of happiness.
You stripped naked and ran into the woods.
It was so great. Other than that, like I've been working on my other job a little bit, which is with that Hunger Games exhibit thing, and it's chill. I haven't really been doing anything though. I haven't been able to play. A lot of
preteen girls just running and screaming.
Yeah, I had two sisters that came in yesterday at the last minute. We can sell tickets, and then they were there 2 minutes after we close because they were in the gift shop arguing.
You wanted to hit them, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. What were they arguing about?
One of the sisters wanted to buy something, I think, and then the other one was just like, "You idiot, we don't have enough money for that." But she was like, fuck it.
We can steal it.
And I'm just standing there waiting to like let them out. Because it's like we already closed everything down. Even the front doors are closed. So I have to, it's the Palace of Fine Arts. So I have to like giant door. I have to like pull a lever like Quasimodo style. And so I'm standing there waiting, just listening to their argument.
And you're like, shut up!
As the cashier for the gift shop keeps looking at me and going,
fucking kill me.
I like instead imagining like they were arguing over like they were going to get like a folder for school. And you're like, I want the Katniss one. I want the Pieta one. And you're just like, shut the fuck up.
Did you just say Pieta?
Yeah, yeah, the one with like the Virgin Mary holding Jesus. I want that school
that
folder.
Other Ikira character. Pieta.
That's Tony, what have you been up to this past week?
This past week,
like usually we just talk about like work, video games, movies we've seen, just stuff like that.
I've been like a recluse for the past week. Like,
nice.
I've like barely left my house.
Mm-hmm. As you should once you're done with high school.
Yeah. I'm like in the phase where you just lock yourself in your room until college.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was at the time too. Where I was just like, okay, I'm done with school. So I'm going to sit here and start playing Skyrim again. Goodbye.
When I graduated, my dad walked in later that day after I graduated, me just not wearing pants watching Adult Swim.
It's amazing.
And he tweeted, graduate to drop out in record time. So I saw 3 movies this past week because my grandma was in town. Mm-hmm. And so she wanted to see a bunch of movies. One of them I just took her to. So I saw The Nice Guys.
Okay, and how was that?
That was a great movie.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I really expected that movie to like go super downhill.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, mostly because it has my favorite kind of dialogue, like the Tarantino conversation made out of bits of other conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that kind of like dialogue.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. Saw Finding Dory, great movie.
Really?
I love Pixar.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, even like with your putting like your Pixar love aside.
I mean, I thought it was really good. I kind of thought it was better than the first Finding Nemo.
Oh, really?
But that's mostly because I'm really tired of Finding Nemo.
That's how I felt when Monsters University came out, because Monsters Inc. is my favorite Pixar movie.
Mine too.
Yeah,
I love
and
that movie.
when Monsters University came out, I think it was just more because it was just like refreshing new material from this universe.
Yeah.
That I think that's usually why. And I'm sick of Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo now, because everybody's just like, oh, let's be
It's
cute
like-
and stay home and watch it, and you're just like, for
It's
like the
'cause you're
7th
finally-
time.
Yeah.
You're finally at the age where it's like the people who grew up with that are like 18 to 23. Kind of like how you got a lot of that for Toy Story when the people who grew up with that were like, hey, it's time for Toy Story 3. And everyone was like, Toy Story's my fucking shit!
Yeah.
Toy Story 2 is better than the first.
Yeah.
It's funny because I
Agreed.
actually, Toy Story 2 is my least favorite of the good Pixar movies.
Are we gonna have to fight now?
I don't know. It's this weird thing. Like, I don't know, for some reason it like makes me feel weird when I watch it.
See, the argument I usually get in with people about Pixar movies is I usually get a lot of people that really don't like The Incredibles, and I'm just like, huh?
How do you
weird.
not like The Incredibles?
Like, that movie's great.
It is masterpiece.
Definitely one of the better ones.
I mean, I have my share of controversial Pixar opinions. Like, I think Cars, the first one's actually a decent movie.
So do I.
Wait, do people think that's like bad? I thought they just.
I think people
okay.
just usually associate it
like
with the
Cars
second one.
2 is bad.
Yeah.
And
That's a bad movie.
I think what people
Planes is
do is
terrible.
they associate
Planes isn't a Pixar movie. That's just straight up like Disney
garbage.
CG. But yeah, Cars 2
Wait,
is
it's
bad.
on
But
the
Cars
same
is a
universe?
decent movie.
I think people just associate it with the second one and then just like trash the whole franchise
Yeah.
down the drain.
Because the second one, they were like spies and shit, right? I watched it.
And for
in
some
theaters.
reason, Bruce Campbell was there.
It was like they're spies, so they're trying to incorporate all these like spy gadgets, but they're cars, so they can really
It's
only do
dumb.
spy car gadgets.
And
it's
by
just
that
like,
we mean they have
somehow
grappling
they're
hooks.
they're going up a building. They're fucking cars. Who doesn't see a car right there? It's
Yeah.
just stupid.
And then I saw
All I have to do is hint the front bumper slightly, and he'll start ringing.
and then I saw Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh.
That was a shit show.
Was it
But
really?
was it like an enjoyable shit show? Like,
It was pretty goddamn funny.
so
when-
it was like Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Of this
Yeah.
year.
When the trailer for it came out, I was so fucking excited because I really liked the first one. Other than Will Smith.
Welcome to Earth. I'm just going to tell you the best thing that happens in this movie. First 10 minutes, giant oil painting of Will Smith. In the
Why?
White House.
Oh,
Because he died saving the world.
Yeah. Okay.
In West Philadelphia.
I wonder how glad they are that they killed Randy Quaid in the first one so that they didn't have to be like, hey, Randy Quaid, want to be in our movie? Can't, hiding in Canada for animal rights abuse.
Jesus.
I finally saw something Clover Street Lane or whatever it's called.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, there you go.
What did you think?
It was really good. It wasn't what I was expecting, and I liked
You're
it.
expecting monster movie?
I was expecting a monster movie, which I would have been perfectly fine with because monster movies fucking rule.
Yeah.
But I did like the take that they took on the series. Just the ending was just kind of like, oh, okay, now there's gonna be more to this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go slip my wrist. But I did really like the way they did it though. Everybody in that movie did a really good job. The only thing about it was the whole time I'm like, that's fucking Ramona Flowers. Quit trying to hide, bitch.
I love it when you watch a movie and that happens.
Oh, when Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in anything.
Yeah.
I'm just like Ramona.
I just
had
hear
dreams
Michael
about
Cera
you.
singing in the back of my head.
You hear the Ramona song with like Black Francis singing it.
Yeah.
And we have plans to see Neon Demon at some point
Yeah.
because I hear that movie's fucked up.
I don't know what that is.
It doesn't have very good reviews so
Really?
far. It's like got like 51 on like Metacritic.
Weird. Everyone I've seen has like praised it.
Oh, weird.
I have not seen a thing on
But then
this.
again, Metacritic
Sounds
can go fuck
cool.
itself.
It's,
Anyway,
it's by the
Nicholas-
guy who made Drive,
Yeah, Wendy
Oh.
Refn.
so that should tell you everything.
Which means it's gonna have like
It explains the neon in the name.
yeah,
Immediately.
demon.
And the demon part. Yeah, that sounds
it's
interesting.
gonna
though.
look pretty, and that's all I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Remind
If I
me to
get a
watch
good
a
movie
trailer
with it,
after we
it's
do
fine.
this.
Huh?
Remind me to watch the trailer after we do
Yeah.
this. I want to see what it's like.
So, is it time to get into our first topic?
It's
Yeah.
time.
So, I'm bringing in the first topic
All
today.
right.
And my topic is comic book dream teams. You can have any writer and any artist working on any comic book character or book that you want with two rules. One, they have to be living.
Oh.
So you can't be like, I want Jack Kirby drawing this, and I'm just going to go, Jack Kirby's dead.
And you're just like, fine, brings in corpse. Have fun making him draw that shit.
Also, do you really want Jack Kirby drawing a comic in the 21st century?
No. I wish he was alive so he could be in the Marvel movies too, like he deserves.
Him and Stan just like next to each other in every cameo.
High-fiving constantly. We made this. And the second rule, no double dipping. You aren't allowed to be like, I want Brian Michael Bendis writing this and this.
How am I going to read the comic if it's in salsa? That's not how it works.
However, you are allowed to say writers that aren't in comics. And I'm going to start with what I think may end up being the greatest comic of all time if it ever actually exists.
I thought you were going to start off with like maybe the worst thing that ever happened to America, so I'm going to say it right
Mark
now.
Miller writes
With Frank
Writes
Miller
poetry.
Did we just create the worst thing for you ever?
Oh no, Battle of the Millers.
Millar versus Miller.
But I'm going to start this off. Doctor Strange,
Oh, fuck.
written by Neil Gaiman.
Okay. Art.
Drawn by Asad Ribic.
It would never come out on time, but
It would be great.
amazing.
Because, like, imagine
That
if,
does sound
like,
very good.
we've never given Neil Gaiman access to, like, the Marvel mythology.
Oh, I thought like you were gonna say we never gave Neil Gaiman access to like a legitimately amazing artist.
Well, that too. I mean, you got him Sam Keith, but that was, like, for 4 issues.
Yeah.
And Chris Bacalo for Death.
That's right.
And actually, it's funny because in Midnight Days, the last comic is him collaborating with Sergio Aragonés from Mad Magazine, the guy who draws Gru the Wanderer.
Oh, that went over my head for a second. I'm just like, what?
I read a lot of Mad as a kid, but like we've never given Neil Gaiman access to like the Marvel mythology. Like we gave him Marvel 1602.
But
that's
that
just,
that doesn't count.
That's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, here's some characters, do something with them in like a different time.
This is enough for you to be weird and not affect us. So here you go.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's putting him in a box.
Yeah.
But like if you gave like him Doctor Strange, it could be like a Sandman style story for exploring the Marvel mythology in the same way Sandman explored the DC mythology.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
It'd be super interesting. The one I had earlier, which I almost changed it because we were talking about Clive Barker earlier, and I love Clive Barker. But Grant Morrison and Mike Mignola from Hellboy.
That sounds
would be
awesome.
awesome.
Doing what?
Anything, fucking anything. I think just both of those two pairing together is perfect. Like I feel like Mike Mignola can get the exact type of artwork that goes around Grant Morrison's head.
Yeah.
Like
It'd be
I think
really
he could
cool.
just fucking nail it perfectly.
It'd be really cool to see like Grant Morrison's like obsession with like
I would love to see them do a Daredevil together.
Oh,
that would be awesome.
would Morrison I don't know what Morrison's Daredevil would be like,
I have no clue, but I
but
love
it would be good.
Yeah.
But like Morrison's exploration of like the mind and like stuff like string theory and shit like that mixed with Mike Mignola's fascination with like what's the word I'm looking for? Like old things. Antiquity. That's it.
Yeah.
Like seeing those put together would be super cool. Or just Grant Morrison writing like a Lovecraft story
Yeah.
would be awesome.
I just think it'd be super fucked up, and I want it.
Yeah.
Like just so utterly depressing. It's just gonna be great.
I would go Brian K. Vaughan and Ryan Otley on Spider-Man.
What work did Ryan Otley do again?
Invincible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing.
I
Yeah.
really need to like get into Invincible.
Yeah, it's really good. A bit. Do you like Kirkman?
I started reading The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I've read the first book so far,
It's the only one I read.
and I thought it was pretty good. Like I definitely prefer. Is it Tony Moore?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Moore's art to Charles Adlard's.
Yeah. Well,
Tony Moore's a better artist.
Kinda
But like,
true.
yeah, that would be cool. Like, I really want to see Brian K. Vaughan like do more like story like works.
In like universe story works, yeah.
Yeah.
Because outside of Runaways and
He did Mystique,
that's right, yeah, he did do.
and he
Mystique.
did a Doctor Strange story.
Did he?
Yeah, The Oath.
I
is
I
very
want to
good.
check that out.
Yeah,
That sounds great, though.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. Brian K. Vaughan's like the best comic writer for when you just want. I want a comic series that's going to be strong from beginning to end, because I think Why the Last Man is like the best comic series to just go entirely through.
yeah,
Like there was never a point where I was like, this is stupid.
yeah. I had a thing for Why Last Man. Like, the way I read it was I went to the store, bought the first 2 trades, went back the next week for 5 weeks and did that.
I'm lending it to
2
Quentin
trades.
right now.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah, he likes to. I lend him the first 3 volumes, and he's like, I like this.
yeah. It's,
I'm also having him read Chew.
Oh,
That's a good one.
I love Chew.
That's
I've only
the-
read the first of 2.
It's the food one you were telling me about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. Well, who did? Was it all new X-Men you were trying to get me into?
The new X-Men with Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think that's what I'm gonna pick up next. Cause
Nice.
God, fucking Quietly.
Could have had him for the whole thing, but you had to be delaying.
Well, Quietly can't draw on time
Yeah.
ever,
yeah,
which is
But
the
I
only
was-
problem with him.
I like saw the 3 volumes and I was just like, oh, that looks so good.
It's
God.
Grant Morrison.
A Cyclops design that I don't hate. Oh my god.
A Cyclops I don't hate.
Yeah.
Am I like? I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually really like Cyclops.
Really?
Yeah. I think the stupid like double X thing, or
That
not
was
double
stupid.
X and this X across. Yeah, it looks stupid.
Yeah. But like,
Standard Cyclops, I think, is a really good design.
yeah, I think the problem is that it's like, so it's definitely a case with him of like comic writers coming in who are fans of comics as kids,
Yeah.
who just like, they come in and they're like, I want my ships to be real.
Oh.
And everyone who read X-Men as a kid was like, I want Jean Grey and Wolverine to get together for some reason.
Which
Yeah.
is dumb.
So they're
Yeah.
all trying to make Cyclops a bigger and bigger asshole. And also it's because they read the Goblin Queen storyline.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, Cyclops like left his wife to go to the original.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think the concept of him is great. I love the idea of him, but no, I think you're totally right. Like everybody just tries to make him this asshole because they're trying to ship Wolverine and Jean Grey for whatever
I kinda-
fucking reason.
It's like how Hank Pym will always be the guy who hit Janet.
yeah,
Even though a bunch of other characters have totally hit their wives. But
Yeah.
we just kind of like erased it from our mind.
this is the
Green
this is the one
Lantern
that
put
hit us.
hers in a fridge.
True. I'm pretty sure Mr. Fantastic hit Sue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or at least called her like woman.
Yeah,
Out woman.
Yeah.
which is enough.
This is the Stanley Jack Kirby era.
Get on my lap,
Fives
woman,
the
I'm
whole
working.
time.
We made it.
But where were we going with this?
You were talking about Brian K. Vaughan writing Spider-Man
Oh,
with
yeah.
Ryan Otley.
As much as like, fuck, I forgot the guy whose name is currently writing Spider-Man.
Dan Slott.
Dan Slott. Been writing it since like 2010 as the main writer, and has been on it since like 2008 when they like relaunched it. And like, I'm like one of the few people that like actually likes Dan Slott's work for the most
I
part.
mean, it's all about Superior Spider-Man.
Yes, Spider-Man
Yeah.
was awesome, and I think like the big time stuff like that led up to it was really good.
I mean, it was better than Straczynski's run,
Well, Straczynski's run has like 3 really good stories,
and then 2
I thought it was only
god awful ones.
even though I don't blame him for those 2 because I think they're editorially
Quesada.
mandated.
It's all
Quesada's
Quesada's fault.
Quesada was like, we want a Gwen Stacy storyline, and then I'm not sure exactly the story behind Since
I had a
Past.
crush on Gwen Stacy, and
This is how
I
it's
hate
going.
Mary Jane.
But anyway, I just think Dan Slott needs to hand the reins over to someone else, and I think Brian K. Vaughan would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And it's like, I really want, like, Brian K. Vaughan is like a really great writer, but he never gets like that chance to like really expand because he's always writing like really long series.
Yeah.
Like he has a few like shorter things like Runaways or Bride of Baghdad.
Which is fucking awesome.
Bride of Baghdad, man.
I have not even read that.
It's
one.
emotional.
Really?
It's about tigers.
in Baghdad.
In Baghdad.
No.
And the art's fantastic.
The art is amazing.
But like Why the Last Man saga, those are like great comics. But like they take up so much of his time. I'd really like to see it like him like go like I'm going to write like a Spider-Man story or a Daredevil story. Like
Yeah.
that'd be really cool.
I feel like we always could need more Daredevil.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I
we
mean,
don't have
you
enough
know
at
Daredevil's
all.
my favorite
Yeah.
superhero.
For good reason.
How's the current run?
I haven't actually read it yet.
Yeah, same. I know.
I haven't at
It's
all.
he's also a lawyer.
I'm
The guy
still super iffy about it.
Charles Soule is
I think so.
Scholl. Yeah.
Shoal.
I think
Scholl.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther.
I haven't read it yet.
Finally read Daredevil Yellow.
What do you think?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Remember when Jeff Loeb was good and didn't kill off random characters because his son died?
It's like he's not gonna say it, is he?
Just gonna go straight to the point.
He said it.
Starts
Jeff
writing
Loeb.
comics.
Jeff Loeb was really good for a really long time
And then kind of went downhill, as did Tim Sale.
because Tim Sale doesn't do anything.
He did Captain America White. The art's not the same. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
what
that
it is.
happened.
I
completely
could
forgot.
give a shit about Captain America White anymore.
Yeah. Going into writers who don't usually do comics, I really want to see Patton Oswalt do a JLA like full run.
That'd be cool.
Because like I feel like Patton Oswalt is like the perfect person to be like he knows mythology. Like you can just look at him and know this guy knows exactly which issue Kyle Rayner debuted.
Oh yeah.
Because and like I think it'd be really cool to see him do that. I'm not sure what artist I'd want to see him paired with.
Who'd be a really good like just straight up DC artist?
Fuck.
You know what's no I'll bring it up later.
You know what artist I'm always
Alex Ross.
that shit's never coming out, my dude. Like he does the covers. but,
Yeah.
like it's funny because when I think of like artists who really look like how DC Comics feel, most of them are either like they don't do DC Comics. Like Mike Allred would be perfect for a DC comic.
Didn't he do like one thing one time?
Probably. Like he did Solo. I remember that. But like most of his stuff is with Marvel or independent comics, or the true person who who captures how DC Comics feel, Darwin Cook, and he's dead.
I was about to be like, you know what sucks about this? We can't say Darwin Cook anymore.
Yeah. Darwin Cook was an amazing artist.
Yeah.
Like that was tragic.
Yeah. I just
That was the weirdest fucking day ever.
I
Like
was
the
just like-
weirdest
Like,
news to get. I was like,
It was like a day earlier. Darwin Cook has terminal cancer. Oh shit, that sucks. Day later, Darwin Cook is dead. Oh man, better read New Frontier.
and cry.
yeah.
Be like, New Frontier's like the best non-Green Lantern story. That's really a Green Lantern story.
Yeah.
Thank you, my son.
Yeah.
He loves Green Lantern.
Yeah. I'm just reading that. I'm just like, Hal is the fucking dude.
That feel when
Seriously.
you can get a Green Lantern story that isn't by Jeff
Johns.
Johns.
Yes.
I like Green Lantern. Hal Jordan's back.
Jeff Johns was like, I'm gonna write like how long was he on Green Lantern?
like years.
Like 05 to like 2013.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm
just
gonna write
about.
this for like 8 years, and it's gonna be really good for 6 of them.
Everybody's going to love all 8 years.
then-
Nobody's going to get sick of me whatsoever.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna ruin Wonder Woman.
Fuck, he did that.
But I'm still like trying to figure out like who's a really good like DC artist, because it's like
Every time I think DC, I immediately think Alex Ross if it wasn't for him doing Marvels. But he did do Marvels, and I always think of Marvels as well, so it doesn't really work.
Ivan Reis drew Blackest Night, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
I think that would be good because he's like good at drawing like
That's pretty DC as
collection
fuck.
characters. He's like the DC
Yeah.
version of Steve McNiven.
Yeah.
He knows how to do everybody very on point. That's
a
super
good pick.
typical DC.
Also, like the real best DC artist, George Perez,
Of course.
Oh yeah.
but he doesn't really do comics anymore.
yeah.
Which is weird because. Wait, never mind.
Because I love George Perez is actually I think probably my favorite comic book artist on a pure. This feels like a comic book level.
Yeah.
I feel like he's Have you read or at least like seen from when they had that crossover? Was it in the 90s? No, early 2000s.
Amalgam?
Not Amalgam. Amalgam's the shitty one.
Yeah.
The one where it was the one that they had him start drawing in the 80s, but then they finally finished it. I think it's JLA Avengers, and then they finished it in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have that somewhere.
Yeah. His art on that is amazing, and he can draw both universes
I like the 3-part.
perfectly.
I
Yeah,
love...
it's 3 issues.
Yeah, 3 issues.
Well,
Put
I
them
mean,
together.
It's like
One whole cover.
Yeah.
He does the like super sexual Aquaman, like full beard
Oh, yeah.
and everything. Yeah, I have
I
that
mean,
one.
he also did Infinity Gauntlet, so...
Yeah, he's a Marvel. Yeah, he does.
But
does
like,
that
I'd
job.
love to see him like do more work.
Huh. I don't
You were
think I ever
talk-
like ended up reading that, and I've had it for so long. I
Didn't
was
he-
just like,
wasn't he on the new-
whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking
That's
great.
so weird.
Wasn't he on the new 52 Superman?
I think so for like a period of time.
I heard that was trash,
Yeah.
at least for the first half.
that was the one, was that the one with Lobdell?
I like his version, like the way
He draws Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like the only reason to read that.
It looks great. It's just I heard everything else. It's just like there's no reason to read it at all.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah, that was
talking about
Lobdell.
Clive Barker earlier.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I almost said you were talking about Chris Jericho earlier.
you definitely
Because I was thinking about
probably
like
would.
that Jericho game that he wrote for like the 360 that you already forgot about.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day because I was thinking of like
It's the weirdest thing to think about.
I was thinking of people for this, and I thought Clive Barker, and then like I had Clive Barker in my head, and then I thought like Henry was in my head because it's like I'm
always
doing
in
this for the show, and you're usually in my head. I'm thinking Clive Barker and Henry, so I was just like, why am I thinking both of them? And then I thought of Clive Barker Jericho because I remember you earlier this year going, you remember that shit? And my only recollection of it is it in the $20 bin, like immediately.
But like, who's like a character you think would go really well with like Clive Barker?
Would be a good one.
I wonder if it's picking up the Skyrim sound. Like there's
I
just
hope so.
chanting in the back.
I hope so. What would be a really good? Damn, Clive Barker.
Like Hellblazer would have been
Like,
perfect, but
are
that's
we-
gone.
But they don't let.
Like with the
Wait, is
typical.
Clive Barker British?
No.
They don't let non-British people write Hellblazer.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Are you saying like if Clive Barker did like a typical like DC or Marvel character,
Or like any character.
anything? I think Clive Barker doing Spider-Man would be pretty cool.
That'd be
Like
interesting.
Yeah.
it like kind of trying to like bring back like because we're talking about Venom earlier, how it hasn't been that great anymore.
Oh,
and
Clive
like
Barker Venom would be cool.
That would
Clive
be
Barker bringing Venom like back to what it used to be.
When you said Clive Barker Spider-Man, I thought of like the Straczynski run. You know how they brought in like all that mythological shit.
With like
Yeah.
Morbius?
Morbius, living vampire.
Clive Barker would hella do that too.
No, who's like the spider god thing that they had?
Ezekiel?
Ezekiel. Morbius is the living vampire.
Yeah.
Different guy.
Morbius is way older and stupid.
No.
I love old school Spider-Man for how ridiculous it is. Like, you never see those villains anymore. Like, where's Scorpion?
But yeah, him doing a Spider-Man or like a Venom run specifically, and like kind of bringing
I
it to
feel
what
like-
it used to be, and slowly incorporating them in the right way, like Carnage and
Yeah.
Toxin and all those other characters that people don't talk about anymore.
I love Toxin, but you never see him in anything.
Have you ever read Venom versus Carnage? It's a really good one where Toxin gets incorporated for like 2 seconds. It's really fucked up. I hate the art for it though, because it's kind of like that early 2000s artwork where like they try to make everything too realistic and shiny. So
Oh.
everybody's like facial expression is always like,
The Greg Land art style.
I always say blame Warren Ellis and because of that book, the Wildstorm book. That's amazing. Authority. The Authority.
Brian Hitch.
Brian Hitch. Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. Blame them.
Yeah, but Brian Hitch had like a style beyond it. Like it was like super detailed, but also like definitely like there was a bit of cartooniness
Yeah.
to it. And like you can definitely see it in like the Ultimates.
Yeah, but like you can definitely tell that a lot of people like tried to emulate that,
Yeah.
not properly.
yeah.
I feel like Steve McNiven was the one who like really brought that up.
Yeah,
Because like in Civil War, like I think Steve McNiven's a good artist. I just don't like his work on Civil War.
yeah.
I feel like his work's passable. Like,
Yeah.
it's good. It's just it doesn't stand out because it just like kind of blends into everything.
Yeah.
Didn't he draw like Inhumans recently?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's preferable to land.
yeah.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, I can like with that like Venom and versus Carnage artwork, like the only way I can tell that it's the early 2000s is because you could tell they try to put as much leather as they could in to the
Everything looks like the
design.
first X-Men movie.
Yeah.
It just looks like they're trying to make all these characters look like they could fit in the Matrix universe, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just so bad.
So Tony, Neil Stephenson writes a comic.
Yeah.
What do you have him write?
Oh,
Because this is one I've been talking about forever. I want Neil Stephenson to be like, I'm going to write a comic. And preferably, it wouldn't be like Marvel or DC. Like, I want to see him go like full, like a Vertigo run or something.
yeah, that would have to be what he does. Because I feel like, or Image,
Yeah.
but like, because I don't see like a superhero like being able to be paired with him. It just wouldn't
Yeah,
work.
no.
Unless you gave him like archetypes, like,
Yeah.
and like just like run with them. But like that's
I mean, I've always just wanted to see like a graphic novel adaptation of Snow Crash. Because
Yeah.
that's my favorite book.
like ever.
Yeah.
Nice,
I love that book. I have 2 copies of it.
awesome.
I've never read Snow Crash.
You should,
I'll lend it to you.
Cool.
But
I heard someone mention it earlier this week, and I was just like, what is that?
like I really want him to I really want to see him like do a graphic novel or something. Like even if it was his own creation, I'd love to see it.
yeah. I'm just trying to figure out who would work on art with that. It would have to be someone who like,
Does like weird stuff.
who's the guy who did Fell?
Ben Temple Smith.
Ben Temple Smith. Would that work?
That would be really
What
cool.
else has he done?
30 Days of Night.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah.
And he
That'd
did
be
those
great.
Silent Hill comics.
Neil Stephenson, Ben Temple Smith.
That would be
I fuck with that.
cool.
That'd
That
be
would
pretty
be
fucking
fuck-
cool.
That would fuck us up.
What would they work on though? 'Cause- so you said probably like Image.
It would probably have to be. It wouldn't be like a.
It
character.
would not be a mainstream comic.
Yeah,
It would
definitely
have to
not.
be like his own fucked up idea.
It would be really cool to see it like Avatar, where it's like get away with like all the gore.
Yeah.
I'd love them to see their take on the Wake the Dead comic that I was telling you about.
So Wake the Dead is his fate. You said like your favorite comic ever.
Like if like right behind Hellboy, it's like 3 friends. One of them kills himself, and then the other 2 have like one of the 3 has like a really bad Frankenstein complex, like privileged rich kid who like doesn't know how to use his time, and he's kind of like fucked up in the head.
I'm gonna check the time.
So they kind of use the friend's head and put it, and conveniently, like the third friend who I haven't like talked about yet, dad works at the morgue, so like they take the kid's head and like fuck with it, and then like the kid like wakes up, and instead of just like I'm gonna automatically kill people or like I'm back or something, like he doesn't want to be alive anymore because he fucking killed himself.
which
So
makes
like
sense.
shit just like goes to hell, and it's like a really short like 5 single issue series,
I should
and
read
it's
this.
really good. I'll let you borrow it. Fuck, I think Jack has them. That's what I needed to get at his house was those fucker. I might just buy like the complete edition
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's better, and then once I get that, that might be the next thing I do, and then I'll let you borrow it.
Ah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It's really good.
So that segment was 37 minutes long.
Wow. Oh shit.
Jesus.
So I think it's time that we go into our next topic.
That felt like 15 minutes, maybe 10.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really enjoying this, man.